Bazian with us to talk more about this. Hatem, thanks very much for being with us. I want to ask you, first of all, about the stories of the American contractors shooting at Palestinians in Gaza who were seeking aid. When you heard that story, what was your reaction? Does it surprise you at all?
Well, it doesn't surprise me in the following, that there is no place for these mercenary private contractors to be at the site of any type of humanitarian relief or attempts to remedy a genocide that is unfolding. The idea of American contractors began to be used immediately after the invasion of Afghanistan and Iraq as a way to create a group of mercenaries, contractors, to offset the needs of the military on the ground. And now we are seeing them being deployed in cooperation, and I would say complicity, with the ongoing starvation of the Palestinians, and using this almost as a shooting ground. A humanitarian relief organization should not be using guns, should not be using stun grenades, should not be shooting toward the civilians that are attempting or being directed to receive such a humanitarian aid. This points to literally these contractors, the mercenaries being brought in to aid and abet Israel's policy of starvation rather than helping the besieged population.
And as far as the comments from the UN Special Rapporteur speaking earlier, she made some very critical comments of Israel. Francesca Albanese calling for nations to stop selling arms to Israel, calling what was happening a genocide. Pretty strong comments there, and she was met with applause after she gave that speech as well. Are we reaching a kind of inflection point here at all in terms of the growing chorus of criticism of Israel's actions in Gaza at this point? And will it make any difference on the ground?
I do think that across the board, all of the respected international human rights organizations are on record of pointing out that what has taken place in Gaza is a genocide. Herself, the Special Rapporteur for the occupied territories, already on record saying that it's taken place is genocide. And I do think that her report pointing out almost 1,000 companies in many of the Western countries that are not only aiding, but actually profiting from acts of genocide. And she's saying that they will be held responsible and will be pursued legally. Whether we are reaching a turning point on the official political leadership position, that is still to be seen. I know that Netanyahu is supposed to meet again with Trump, the third such meeting with Trump in a short period of time, and whether any development, not only in ceasefire temperature, but a permanent ceasefire, and also beginning to take Israel to account for genocide and for literally killing and causing the death and mayhem of close to 400,000 Palestinians, as the Harvard report demonstrates, or at least points, of the number of people that are missing from the civilian rosters in Gaza. So we'll have to wait and see, but I do think we are reaching a critical moment as it relates to Gaza at this time.
And on this latest ceasefire proposal, of course, we've been down this road before, but are you optimistic at all at the prospects for a ceasefire this time around?
Well, saying optimistic or not optimistic with Netanyahu involvement and Trump, which basically every other sentence of him is a complete lie and a shift. We'll have to wait and see what actually develops. The ceasefire is temporary, which basically attempts to try to get some hostages out and exchange of hostages on both sides. but while allowing Israel to continue its operation unabated. On the second part is that Ben Gvir is also stoking with Smotrich a call on the Israeli government, including all of the Likud members of the Knesset, calling for the official annexation of the West Bank. And my sense, this visit might also get Trump to go on record of agreeing to the annexation, considering that he said this during his campaign period. So I wouldn't be surprised that that will be floated as a quid pro quo for the 60-day ceasefire, which will be a disaster in itself if it's not actually thinking of the genocide that we are witnessing unfolding in Gaza.
Good to talk to you, Hatem Bazian, joining us there. Thanks very much for being with us.
Thank you.